A man instead accused of using an SUV to run into his boss who had just fired him.
Police say his rage led to a deadly shooting that sent 2 people to the hospital. This was around 6:30 last night near Charleston and Decatur in the West Valley. 8 News Now reporter Ryan Matthew has a video of it happening.
I heard somebody say he's coming back, and I couldn't move.
67-year-old Stephen Bowman dodged death. A disgruntled construction worker was driving a deadly weapon, but Bowman wasn't the target.
The suspect entered into the vehicle and began trying to chase down his employer.
Police say a nearby home was being remodeled Thursday evening, indicating one worker showed up to work intoxicated. Fired by his boss on the spot, it started as a verbal fight.
Police say this was the house that the conflict began in before that construction worker jumped in his car, began driving this way. Neighbors tell us this was the same direction that the employer was walking. We make this turn around the corner, it becomes more chaotic. 1, 2, 3 different properties, all completely smashed by that car before turning deadly.
It's like a blasted movie.
Neighbors stepped out of their homes to this. Security footage captures minutes of the black SUV chasing down the employer, zigzagging through this and other neighborhood streets. Then driving backwards, contact is made. We're pausing the video here as the employer is run over and catapulted into the nearby wall.
I see the guy laying down. He's laying face down, and he's not moving.
But the intoxicated driver wasn't finished.
I was hollering at him, stop, stop. And the guy wouldn't stop.
Anna Tilley says she told her 27-year-old grandson to get her shotgun.
Throw me the gun. No, he raised the gun. I saw him. I thought, oh my God, he's just going to raise the gun. But he raised it, and the guy just kept coming at him.
And then her grandson subdues him, later cooperating with police before release by Friday morning.
He was going crazy.
You knew he was coming towards you.
Yeah.
Bowman was struck by wall debris and left with a mutilated leg.
It happened so fast. You don't understand. It happened so fast.
Did you think you were going to die?
Absolutely.
Left with a stretch of neighborhood that now, too, needs remodeling. Reporting from the West Valley, Ryan Matthew, 8 News Now.
Now, the injured man you heard was out of the hospital within 8 hours. The other man remains in the hospital with non-life-threatening but major injuries as of last update. Details of the driver are still unknown.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. I want to give double honors to head apostle and elders, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out in all truth and sincerity. And as you can see, people are on edge, all right? Not just over here in Babylon the Great, but all over the earth. Now, concerning this situation with this guy who got fired from his job, which he proceeded to chase down his employer, his boss, with his truck and try to run him over, which later on he was shot dead by one of the neighbors of the property that they were doing construction and remodeling on. Okay, so people are on edge out here. People are on edge because of the lack of work, the low pay, you know, the influx of prices, and just the various things that are going on in society. Okay, you know, the whole presidential election campaign. So people are on edge out here, man. And we're going to see more and more and more incidences like this, and even worse. Let's go to Matthew the 24th chapter. This is going to be a quick video. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 12, and it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, and is waxing colder and colder and colder." Let's get that in the NLT. It says sin will be rampant everywhere. And that's what you see taking place on a very high level over here in Babylon the Great. Okay? AKA America. Sin is running rampant. Darkness has completely covered this place. And people's hopes and dreams, you know, their insight of what America should be and was supposed to be and could be is dwindling, and their hopes and dreams are dying right before their eyes. It says sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. And we are witnessing that. And things are about to get a lot worse. As you've seen, the stock market basically took the biggest crash or the biggest loss that it has. I've heard some people say ever. You got sedition among men. You got riots taking place over in the United Kingdom area. You got these different Gurkha troops and riot police. They're damn near about to bring in martial law troops into these various different areas that these large protests are taking place, man. So you got various different things happening all over the earth right now, man. Okay? And we feel through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai the build up. We feel the temperatures rising. And it's going to come to a boiling point that water is going to start flowing over. And we're going to enter into that, great sedition, civil war, race wars. 2nd Ezra the 15th and the 16th chapter, people taking matters into their own hands, not regarding the kings nor princes, man. They're not going to be worried about the police. They're not going to be worried about getting locked up, getting thrown in jail, or even getting shot dead. It says sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. Let's go to 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. You got a lot of people angry about the situation with these so-called immigrants or migrants, not only coming over here to America, but various other parts of the earth, and them receiving benefits. Okay, I saw an article or a story a couple of days ago that, this one so-called migrant, which they're not really migrants, but that's what Esau labels them as, that were allowed to come over here are receiving very, very lucrative incentives and benefits, so to speak, coming over here to America. $15,000 a month on food stamps, along with $5,000 a month just, walking around money. So Esau's setting up these people that are coming over here in large numbers. He's setting them up very, very nice. But he has a plan behind it all. Okay, just don't think that Esau just wants you to come over, and he just wants to help you out and do good to you and put his arm around you. No, he has a sinister plan, and all these, this migrant situation is ultimately part of his agenda. All right, let's go to 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And we're really on the brink of civil war and race wars, especially circling around this whole presidential election campaign. And you have a situation over there in the United Kingdom that heavy riots are taking place, uproars of the people, and the police are about to take extreme measures. It says, verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." And this is what you see on the screen. It says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power." He said, "You fired me from this job, I'm about to run your ass over." Okay? So he had murder on his mind over a job. And a lot of people out here are on, that type of time. They're on that type of level. Just one little thing goes wrong or one little twitch happens, and they're ready to crash and burn. They're ready to lose it all. They're ready to go all out. It says, in the course of their action shall stand in their power. And this man, he took action into his own hand. He went proactive into trying to run over his boss with that truck, but he ended up losing his life. It says, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So we're coming into some very, very dark, evil times. And if these people think that this is a harsh time, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, okay? You still have a luxury of going to a grocery store. You still have the luxury of calling the police when, situations like this happen. You still have the luxury of having a job. There's going to come a time when there is going to be no jobs. And we'll get that in a little bit. Let's go down to verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Yeah, we're coming into a time where there's not going to be no food. We're not going to be able to travel to city to city, to state. We're not going to have the luxuries of going into a grocery store and having electricity. All right? But see, you got a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans think that they got the time that they think they have when they really don't. And they look at the prophets that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai set up all over the four corners of the earth, ultimately as a joke, right? Well, you're going to find out very, very soon. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, and let's start from the top. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should be focused on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, repenting and getting right with the Heavenly Father. It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And we're coming into those times, man. Well, you're not going to have pleasure in the days that you're living. All right? Scriptures say that the Lord is going to, cause the mirth to cease, roughly paraphrasing, man. All that partying and bullshitting, trying to live your best life, guess what? That's all coming to an end. Verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds returned after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. So soon there's not going to be no work, there's not going to be no jobs. Society as you know it is going to drastically change. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So we're entering the time of Jacob's trouble. And, a lot of our people that have heard this word, that have heard this truth, have come across this gospel in one way, shape, form or another, ultimately they don't believe in the prophecies, man. Okay? They don't believe. And you even got Israelites that know they're Israelites, that are consider themselves teachers, that really don't go into the prophecies concerning harsh times, all hell breaking loose, and Jacob's trouble. They basically push that it's going to be smooth sailing into the kingdom. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12, and we'll close out on this. This is Daniel 12 and 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. Okay? And this is concerning Jacob's trouble for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And, Lord willing, we're written in that book. Lord willing, we're part of that elect number, and we can be beamed up out of this place, man. Okay? And witness the great destruction of Babylon the Great and various other parts of the earth via the intercontinental ballistic missiles and that concentrated fire that's going to come from those so-called UFOs and those so-called UAPs, which we know them to be the angels, the chariots. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash. I want to give double honors to the head apostle and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. To the next time, Shalom.